You're very welcome to That's the Spirit, where I shall share the stories behind some of Ireland's most remarkable distilleries, the people, the places, and the spirit that makes them what they are. Today we travel north, to the very edge of the island, to a small village in County Antrim called Bushmills. A place shaped by wind, water and time. A place that quietly holds one of the oldest whisky stories in the world. Before the dates and the records and the licenses, there was just this place, the North Coast wind, the river bush running cold and clear, and people who knew, long before it was ever written down, that something good could be made here. The story of Bushmills begins in 1608, when King James I granted a licence to distill in the area. And while the distillery as we know it today came later, that date matters. It tells you something about just how deep whisky runs through this part of Ireland. By 1784, the old Bushmills distillery was formally registered. Built beside the river Bush, with the Giant's Causeway only a short distance away, it became a natural home for whisky. The water was pure, the air was cool, and the people were patient. What makes Bushmills different is not bravado, but discipline. For generations, it has stayed loyal to a single idea: triple distilled single malt Irish whisky. No shortcuts, no rushing, no trends. They only use malted barley, distilled slowly through tall copper pot stills, and matured patiently in the Atlantic coastal warehouses. You don't feel rushed when you walk through Bushmills. Time behaves differently there. But whisky isn't just made by buildings, it's made by people. And my own connection to Bushmills isn't just through the bottles, it's through someone who played a real part in shaping my path in whisky. That person is Seamus Lowry. I didn't meet Seamus formally at first. Garvin's was on his call list, and he'd stop in from time to time. Quiet visits, quick chats, and over time those conversations turned into something more. An idea. Why not run a proper Bushmills event together here in Garvin's bar? That event became a turning point for me. I was new, a bit unsure of myself, still finding my feet, and Seamus was exactly what you'd hope for in somebody guiding you through the industry. Patient, generous, and genuinely encouraging. And if he wasn't talking about whiskey, he was talking about fishing. That was Seamus. You'd be deep in conversation about casks, maturation, or barley, and suddenly he'd drift into stories about rivers, tides, and quiet afternoons with a fishing rod in hand. Whiskey and fishing, that was him for me. Over the years, through my time in Garvin's, working with Teeling, and later in Sonny Malloy's, he was always there in the background, with advice, support, and the kind of wisdom you only get from years in the trade. And today he's still very much part of that world, now bringing the same knowledge and passion to Edward Dillon's. And honestly, any team that has him is incredibly lucky. Because people like that, they don't just represent whiskey, they shape the people coming up behind them. And in a way, that's the spirit of Bushmills, a distillery that doesn't shout, it just shows up, quietly confident, steady, and reliable. Now, let's talk about what they make. At the heart of Bushmills is Bushmills Original, a blend of triple distilled malt and lighter grain whisky. It's approachable, easy, and honest, a starting point for many people's whisky journeys. Then there's Black Bush, a high single malt blend aged in Oloroso sherry casks, rich, warming, and one of the most recognisable bottles on any back bar. Then there's the 10-year-old single malt, where you step fully into malt whisky, richer, fuller, more mature, aged in bourbon and sherry casks. Toasted oak, vanilla, and a gentle sweetness that builds slowly in the glass. The 16-year-old takes things even further, matured in bourbon and sherry, then finished in port casks. The port influence brings a richness you feel all the way through, dark fruit, a little spice, and a warmth that lingers. A whisky built on time and balance. And for many, the pinnacle is the 21-year-old single malt, matured in bourbon and sherry before long years in Madeira casks. Dried fruit, honey, and a finish that just keeps going. This is a whisky made without urgency. And the range keeps growing, right up to a 25 and a 30-year-old for those who want to go even deeper. Bushmills doesn't chase noise, it doesn't race, it trusts its craft. And that mirrors the kind of patience Seamus gave to me over the years. Slow down, learn properly, respect the spirit. So when I think of Bushmills, I don't just think about stills and warehouses. I think about quiet chats in the bar, planning an event over a few laughs, stories that move easily from whiskey to fishing and back again. So next time you see a bottle of Bushmills, remember, it's not just a distillery. It's the North Coast wind, the river bush, generations of patience. And for me, it'll always be tied to a bar stool, a shared dram, and Seamus Lowry, quietly helping me find my way. If you're enjoying these stories, make sure to follow, like, and leave a review wherever you're following. Slán te.